this tutorial, we're going to go over how we need to prepare our fairs to accept project from lower fairs in schools. There are a couple of settings that we need to check before we accept those projects. First thing I want to do is go to signtier.com and log in. I want to log in with my fair administrator username and password. And as usual, I want to make sure that I'm on the correct dashboard. So I'm going to select Fair Administrator and I'm going to the fair that I want to manage. In this case, this is a regional fair. District fair will be the same process. I want to check some settings here before I get all of those projects submitted to my SRC from the schools and the lower fairs. First thing I want to do is go to step 1 to my fair setup. I want to check these numbers here, make sure I've got everything okay. I want to make sure my fair type is correct. But the main thing that I want to concentrate on is this student confirmation section here. This is where we program the student confirmation. When students are selected as winners and their school or their fair finalizes, the next time that the students log in, they will be presented with a pop-up message that asks them to choose a new category which will align with the fair that they're entering, which will be your fair. And they will also be asked to click a button to confirm that they are going to attend your fair. When they click that button, we can program what we want that button to do, and that is where we do this. We've got some options here. The default option is we don't want the button really to do anything except mark the student as confirmed in the database, but we do want to display a message, and we can type a message here in the field. We can say congratulations, we can give them instructions, we can give them a link to click whatever we want to do. So when the student clicks that button, in this case, he's going to be presented with the message that you type in here. Now maybe when the student clicks confirm, you want them to go to your regional fair website, or you want them to go to a payment page or something of that nature. In that case, we would want to select the option navigate to external site. When I do that, then I have a place I can type in the web address. So whatever I type in this box is where the student's going to go when he clicks that button to confirm. In this case, I have it set to my regional fair website, where we will display some information and a congratulations message there. So if I want them to navigate to my website, this is where I would do that. The third option is to navigate to my website or to an external server and send their data along with it. There are a couple of fairs that use this option. If you don't understand how this works, then don't select this option. Basically, it posts the student's data to an external website or to your website's processing page, where your server can process the information. It basically transfers their information to your local servers. If you're interested in this feature and your IT guys, you have some capable IT guys, because they're going to have to configure some things, please contact us and let us know. We can help you with doing that. Otherwise, let's leave that option alone if you're not prepared to do that. For most of us, the do nothing option is the best, because we can just simply put a message here with a link if we wanted to that says click here to pay, or click here to do go to our website for more information, or be sure to print your abstract, whatever kind of message we want. Again, when the student logs in for the first time after their school or fair has confirmed them as a winner, they will be presented with a box. They must choose their new category so that it matches your fair, and then they have to click confirm that they are coming to their fair. And when they click confirm, this is how we program the button, what we want that message to be, or what we want that button to do. If we make any changes here, we need you to check, because when we set this up at the beginning of the year, a lot of people just put in test message here, or a bunch of garbledy-goop or something. We need to make sure that this is proper, because as soon as the student clicks confirm, they're going to get that message. It'll be posted to their timeline as well. Once we've got our settings, we need to scroll all the way down the bottom and hit submit and save. After we've checked those settings, I'm going to go back to the dashboard here. The next thing we want to get prepared is our SRC. We want to make sure that our SRC is set up properly and ready to review these projects. First of all, I want to make sure I've got at least a minimum number of members on the SRC. Remember, we can have multiple chairs. The more chairs you have, the better, because only a chair can sign and approve a project. A reviewer, someone who's not a chair, can review a project and send it back for corrections, but they can't approve a project. Only a chair can. So I would mark as many people as you can as a chair to help speed up the review. They will be able to approve projects. The other thing we want to concentrate on now here is your post-fair SRC review, this section right here. Before, we've had these configured. This have to do with prior approvals of projects. Now we're concentrating on our fair SRC, which works in a slightly different manner. There are fairs who choose to review their projects before the fair, and then they like to re-review the winners before they send them on to the state fair or to a higher fair. In that case, I would choose option 1. It says I'm going to review and re-review all the projects. That means I'm intending on reviewing them twice. If I only review the projects before they enter the fair and I don't want to do it a second time after the fair, I will choose this option. There are a couple of more features that I would like to discuss right here with this option. I know there are some cases out there where, especially in the regional fairs, where they don't want to have to pre-approve the projects coming into the fair because the same SRC members were on the district fair and the school fairs, so it's basically the same SRC re-reviewing the project several times, and they don't want to have to do it again before the regional fair, which makes perfect sense because the ISEF rule states as long as the projects are reviewed before they enter your fair, that's okay. So you may not want to review the projects before they enter your fair. Maybe you just want to review them afterwards and review the winners before they go on to double check they're okay. If that is the case, you do not want to review the winners before they come to your fair, we want to select this first option. I know it sounds funny because it says you're going to do 2 reviews, but if you select 2 reviews, then we have the option to bypass one of them and automatically approve all of the projects for one of the reviews. If I select this option, I can't bypass. I'll have to review each and every project before it enters my fair. Otherwise, it won't let me select them as winners. If I select this option, I can bypass the pre-fair review. So if I'm going to bypass the pre-fair review, I want this option. Or if I'm going to do 2 reviews, one before and one after, I also want to select this option. I'm going to take you out to the dashboard and we'll talk a little bit more about the automatic approval of all the projects. Let's go to the current dashboard. By the way, if we make any changes there, again, we want to be sure we scroll down and hit submit. I'm going to go back to the dashboard. The next thing I want to look in is my fair management tools. The toolbox has a button. If your toolbox does not have this button yet, it will very soon. The button simply says pre-approve all projects. Now if you selected that first option that we just discussed, you'll be able to use this button. That means you can pre-approve all the projects entering your fair. How does that work? Well, when I select it, it asks me for an SRC chair's name. I'll choose one. It'll ask me for the review date that we want stamped on those entering the fair, and I'm going to select a review date, and I'm going to hit submit. And when I hit submit, all the projects that are currently at my fair are going to be, their abstracts are going to be stamped, and they're going to get their approvals. Now, if I run this, I'm going to just want to go back a screen here. Go back another screen. So let's say I did a pre-approval and I marked all my projects. Well, tomorrow I get 3 or 4 more projects. Those won't be pre-approved. You'll have to pre-approve them again. You either have to do them individually or you have to click this. Anytime you get a new project, you'll need to click this button, or you wait until you've got all the projects you know you're going to have and you're going to click this button. but it only affects the projects that are currently there in your fair. That's the point that I'm trying to make. So it does not affect projects that are on their way and just haven't been submitted to your fair yet. So you'll need to keep an eye on that. And we're back to our control screen. So these are the three main things that we need to check in preparation of accepting students and projects from lower fairs. Step 1, we want to check our setup and our confirmation message. Step 3, we want to make sure we have our SRC and IRB set up properly. And we need to know where our Approve All Projects button is. That concludes this tutorial on preparing your fair for the projects that are about to enter.